Okay, hello and welcome everybody to a free Virtude Academy event that today's topic will be all about career in front-end development and front-end as a sphere. My name is Veronica, I'm event manager at Virtude Academy and I'm so glad to welcome you here. At the beginning of the event, as per usual, I'm going to take a few minutes to get you through some organizational stuff, answer popular questions concerning the structure, how long will it take, etc., etc. And then, of course, I will give the word to Alex, who will take along the heavy lifting of the topic. So let's quickly go through the structure. The event is planned to be around 1 hour and a half. So just, we are going to start, of course, with the topic of what is front-end development. We're going to discuss what are the typical tasks and goals a front-end developer can have in their day-to-day life. So we are going to get involved with the terms, with the all the typical day life that you can have. If you choose this profession, then we're going to switch to a practical activity, of course, for you to get a little bit of acquaintance with the field, because what's the best way to know if the profession suits you, of course, is to get a little bit of practice. So I suggest that you stay active at that part especially. Then I'm going to have a couple of words about Virtude Academy. So just, what are the educational ways of pursuing this career, because of course you have to build your skill set first. Then we'll have a separate Q&A session, because this is the time and place to do that. I believe you have a great opportunity to ask a practical expert of the field all of the questions regarding your career, your possible educational path that you can take, how to start this career, etc., etc. And we will finish with the special bonus proposition for you. So yes, stay tuned till the end. The main communicational device, let's say, we'll use is the live chat on YouTube. So let's use it to, first of all, say hello, and second of all, tell me if you can see the screen sharing, can you see the presentation, if the video and sound quality are all right, just to make sure we are on the same page. And while I'm waiting for the responses, please use the chat to put all of the questions and comments you may have. We'll tackle them mainly at the Q&A session alongside with the questions that you put into the registration form. But in case there are some more pressing issues, like there is a poor sound quality or internet connection problem, or maybe we use a term that you don't get, just put those comments into the chat. I'm there to see if anything all right, and if anything comes up, we'll tackle it right away if it's an urgent one. But all of the questions we'll save for the Q&A session as a separate part of the event. And the last but not least organizational question is, in case you don't have 1 hour and a half, that's of course a priority. I would like you to stay along with us, but in case you can't, please no worries, because the event will be recorded and the record will be sent to you via the email that you used to register for the event, alongside with the presentation, all the bonuses and materials that we're going to mention, so you won't miss anything. But still, for the practical part, I suggest you stay along, because I believe that's the most fun one. And with that being said, I'm waiting for the comments in the chat, but I think we can move along to our today's speaker. Alex, I give you the word. So let's start with the quick introduction.
Yes, hello, and let me know if you can hear me well, if you can see me well. Feel free to interrupt me if something. My name is Alex, and I am front-end developer. I have a full-time position as a front-end lead for L'Oréal Paris, for a beauty brand, and also I'm a tutor in Virtude Academy, tutor for a front-end development course. I spent like more than 9 years for a front end, and I'm here to help you to find out what front end is, to answer your questions, maybe to introduce it in some interesting way. Today we're gonna discuss what front end is. We will check like some real examples of real tasks from my experience. We will take a look at the results of our students. We will do some practice session. I hope it will be very interesting for you and very useful. So let's measure how do we feel today. We have this beautiful range of cats. Let's choose which number is you today. Please send it into the chat, number of your preferable cat. How do you feel today? Mm, maybe you, Veronica, could start.
Yeah, sure, with pleasure. Personally, I had a very bad night's sleep, so I'm definitely cat number two. I'm dreaming of a pillow, to be honest. So yeah, I think I'm somewhere between number two and number six. I'm pretty calm, low energy kind of, but still glad to be here. Alex, what about you? Which cat would you choose?
I'm number two. I'm usually number two. I'm always want to take a nap, especially after a long day at my work. Yeah. Also, I
That's
have two
very
kids,
true.
so I always like to sleep.
Yeah, you better have all the sleep you got.
Yeah.
Thank you for the response. We have number four. I feel inspired today. That's a great choice. I always think that the kitten represents, all the energy of the people who came here to, learn some new stuff. So that's great. I hope you like the event. And with that being said, I think we can move on to the, let's say, theoretical part. And probably we shall start with what front end is in general.
Yeah. What front end is. Basically, front end, it's a field of technology that you are using every day. When you are scrolling your social media, when you are buying something online, when you are watching TV, when you are using your smart watch, uh, you are using user interface. So every digital product in the world consists of three main parts. It's some information, some data, and user, and something between. Between, it's a user interface. It's like a bridge between information and end user. So you are using it even right now during this session, and I'm doing this as well. So basically, front end is the part of product development that allows us to create a user interface for a different platform. I'm working as a web front-end developer. I'm responsible for creating user interface for a websites, for a web products. But there are different directions in this field, like for mobile applications, some special platforms, smart TV, etc., etc. But overall, it's very similar, all of them. We have some main technologies that allows us to convert design, like a blueprint, into something real page, or real touchable interface, buttons, I don't know, inputs, etc., using a simple code. It's not always simple, but let's call it like this. So typical task of front-end developer is to take a blueprint, take a design, and transform this design into something real. As I mentioned above, it's buttons, pictures, interactive elements, sliders, anything that you could use and you could see on the screen of any platform that you have. We should take care about presenting information to the user because it's our main goal to present information in the most suitable and reliable way for a user. It should be easy to get and easy to collaborate. Also, we should take care about representation of these web products in a global search system for a Google or Bing or another search engine. We should take care that website will be in a decent position in this search range. We should take care do uh, how do we see this web product, this interface on a different platforms, on a big screen, on a small screen, even on your watch. And also we need to test what we are doing. So the most typical, it's design plus development plus testing. That's the front end. So to do all what I mentioned about, in web front-end development, we have three main technologies. It's HTML, hypertext markup language. It's CSS, cascading style sheet, and JavaScript. So, long story short, if we are talking about something from real world, let's say a car, your car has doors, uh, wheels, steering wheel, windows, some structure elements. So HTML, it's a markup language that allows us to create these structure pieces. It has own units, we call them tags, and this tags allows us to insert and create proper elements for users. So first website ever in the internet was invented in 1991, and it had no CSS, no JavaScript. It looked absolutely ugly, but it it worked because the main goal is to present some information, and HTML allows us to present this information in some default way. In 1994, designers decided that pure HTML looking horrible, so they invented CSS. CSS allows us to add some colors, fancy animation. If you are talking about car, again, it's a color of your car, of some, I don't know, design elements in your car. It allows you to make it more beautiful, more simple. I don't know. And in 1995, only in 10 days, one developer created one more programming language. Initially, it was called Mocha, then changed to LiveScript, and then finally it been named as a JavaScript. And if we are talking about my car again, JavaScript, it's like electricity. It allows us to add some interactive features to your website, allows you as a user to communicate with the server, to send some data, to get some data, to add some fading, transitions, to make everything scrollable, moving, all what we like. So I'm using these three base technologies every day in my typical day. Usually my day starting with the planning, because front end, it's about collaboration. It's about collaboration between designers, front-end developers, back-end developers, who is responsible for the data itself. They are working with databases, and some project managers who is running around and screaming, you should work faster. Overall, this planning allows me to keep everything on track and to prioritize my typical tasks. And my typical tasks, it's a coding, doing something using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and some popular framework. Framework, it's a tool that allows me to work faster. Maybe we will mention about it a bit later. Let me show you a very, very simple example. So let's imagine that my project manager asked me to create very simple application, compliments application, that will generate a random compliment to the user. For this, I need to create a file that I will be able to open in my browser, and I will be able to deploy it. So I'm using HTML file that allows me to create a simple structure like my car. Remember, wheels, doors, everything. So with a special tags, I did it in advance, we could add headings, buttons, and some paragraph. Step number 2. Let's finish step number 1. We need to check how does it look now. It looks super basic. It works. I have clickable button, but it looks like in 1991. Let's make it work like in 1994 with the CSS. I will add it right here. CSS has own syntaxes and allows us to use some predefined properties with some predefined values to style my application. Now it looks slightly better, not so ugly as before. But button doesn't work. I cannot see any complement. So I need to finalize it with JavaScript. I will add piece of JavaScript right here. And voila, you are amazing. Long story short, that's how frontend works. It's not so easy in a real life, but overall the main idea stays the same. Okay, we also prepared more practice for you, not for me. So I'm passing my word back to you, and I'll stay here.
Yeah. Okay, so I have already sent the Miro word link to the live chat, which you can access. No worry, there is no need for like logging or register process. You can just enter the word. You will have some kind of funny nickname. And I'm also going to share the screen so you can see it. Okay, so the board will look something like that. In case you have never used Miro or Miro, I will alternate between those two names because honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure how to correctly pronounce it, so sorry in advance. It will look something like that. So you will see identical web pages, let's say, and you can just choose one which you prefer, number two, number three, whatever. We'll use number one as an example. Yeah,
Yes.
in case you have never used the Miro, let's go through really quickly. What is it? It's a whiteboard, online whiteboard that allows the process of inter-team or inter-member communication and also collaboration on different projects. One of them we are going to do right now. And to use the Miro board, the only things you have to master is how to move around the Miro board and how to like interact with the object that we have prepared for you to move around the Miro board. In case you're using a laptop, as I do, I just move it using my touchpad, just as you do on a website. Let's say, yeah, when you scroll, I personally use two fingers on the touchpad. It depends on the settings on your laptop, whichever works for you. You can also find here in the left panel this particular cursor, and your task is to click it so it's no longer blue, and as you can see the mouse cursor turns into a head, and when you click it you can drag yourself around the board, so that's the way to do it. And to actually use the documents, sorry, the elements we have prepared, the only thing you have to do is to actually click and drag them. That's all you need to know, honestly. You can always come back to the screen. If that's too much, you can always stay with the screen translation that we are going to have, and Alex will go through the task itself. And maybe test this later for yourself. The link will be like clickable and applicable for you even after the event, so you can come back later and test this task for yourself. But I really hope you will join us. And by the way, Alex, join us in what? What are we going to do? Why we have prepared those different boards?
We're gonna try to collaborate and create a mock-up for a simple website. We are doing this during collaboration with designers on stage when we need to find out how websites should look in terms how it should work in terms of user interaction. It's a building UI. As I said, we should care about users. The website should be very easy to use for users. That's why we have proposed to try to place elements. How do you see it in the proper place according to your opinion? and to create a web page that would be the most reliable, the most familiar to you. How do you like it?
Yeah, we
The
also,
main, the, yeah,
sorry, I also wanted to make sure that we are proposing to work with an e-commerce page that basically means like of some online shop. That's why the icons you may see are already hinting at that a little bit.
yes, yes. Try to put elements in the proper places according to your vision of good user interface. That's it. And then we will compare, we will discuss results. Um, I don't know. Usually we are doing this with the designers, so they know how to do it. I don't know. Maybe we have designers here as a participants. I
Yeah.
hope so.
Or at least it's a fun thing to think about, to try not to think about mm, the websites you use from the
Yeah.
perspective of, oh my God, I have to order like 3 packs of this and 2 packs of that, but also try to think about the logic, how would you structure the page so it will be the most comfortable. I already see a person collaborating on the board, so yeah, please, you're welcome to use anything. By the way, you can also scale objects very easily. If you click on the object, you can see these white dots appearing, and you can usually, again, drag it as well as you would scale an image anywhere. So in case you think that I've prepared very small icons, you're welcome to make it as big as you would like. And while we are waiting for you to create your first mockup, Alex, can you please go through the three main sections, let's say, that we prepared, which are header, main body, and footer? Why are they important in terms of, the web page structure?
Yes, yes. Thanks for this hint. In my humble opinion, good web page, it's like a good book. And book should include some required elements. Yeah, it has like a cover, it has some intro, short intro that will describe short summary, and at the end it has some credits. So on the web page we have the same. We have intro with some general information about the page. We have header here. Header usually it's a part that we are using all the time. So it should include the most popular actions, the most required for user actions. So user had a chance easily find what he need, like a search bar, some personal account button, something like this. Usually header, it's the intro of your website. Then we have main body. It's a perfect place for the main content. All what you wanted to present, like, I don't know, a dog food description with some nice pictures. It should be there. Mm, all buttons, gallery with pictures, information, all should be there. And footer, it's a credits of your website. Usually, there we have like general information about developers, about owners of the website, some references, some links to site resources. Here on the screen, we can see that Sarah doing really good. Uh, she's placing social icons at the footer, and yeah, that's a very good place for them. Also, we could put social icons in the header as well. It's up to you. Mm. But overall, yeah, Sarah knows something.
We have a pretty short board list. I made this board of the web page pretty short, but are there any, like, I don't want to say requirements, but maybe like recommendations of how long the page should be?
Mhm. It depends on the content. Uh, you know, uh, Web design, it's like a fashion industry. Uh, it's not static. It's always different from year to year. Now we have uh, modern websites. Uh, the direction of modern website is not a vertical, it's more horizontal because everyone likes to see a sliders with a fading images. So uh, the height of the page could be really tiny, but the content fading from left or right side or different fading windows allows user to get the same information. Because nobody likes to scroll a lot. So if it's too long, too big, it's not a good idea because nobody likes to scroll. And if you're using your mobile phone, your smartphone, you will have to scroll even more with your finger. Nobody likes to do this. So I could say the most typical size of main body of the website, it's like a two user screens, two sizes of the monitor. One that you will see as soon as you will load the page, and one after it. That's
Mm-hmm.
more than enough.
Thank you. Generally, in this activity, it seems as almost we are doing the task that designers should do. Why it's also important for a front-end developer to know the structure, where should elements appear, how to, put them logically on the page, etc.
Designers and developers should collaborate very closely, and basic front-end knowledge is crucial for designers as well, because web development has some limitations in terms how we could create some element, how we could put it in some uh, different.
I want to show that I prepared like different cards to choose
Uh,
from, if that's interesting.
that we have live comment. What I said, technical limitations. So we cannot allow designers just to draw the super fantastic design without developers' approval, because there are some things that we cannot make or we don't want to do it. And the main difference between design as a picture and real code, that nobody will use a design. Users will use a real web page. And in terms of user interaction, front-end developers has better knowledge and better experience how user click, how user swipe, because usually designers just care about uh, fancy stuff, colors, size of the elements, nice images, etc. And I'm, as a front-end developer, should care about accessibility. Also, we should care about accessibility for a color-blinded person, for person with I don't know, vision disability. Everything should be accessible. Also, everything should be accessible from a keyboard or touchpad or mouse. So we definitely need to work together. Uh, okay, so we have first result. Um, I could say I'm absolutely satisfied with header here. I like it, but I'm not sure about main body. Do we have some, I don't know, other results? Does
It's right here.
anyone doing? I'm, mm,
I don't think so,
no, only Sarah.
unfortunately.
Okay, only one active participant. In terms of footer, we have very typical footer with additional navigation there. So user don't have to scroll back to top to change the page. That's very good. We have social links. And header with main actions.
I also couldn't decide between like the trolley icon and the basket icon, so I put them both for people to choose in case they would like to use some particular one.
Yeah. Regarding icons, I could say that designers knows better.
That's true. That's probably true. How do you usually collaborate on like re real life projects with the designers? So do they usually come first to you with like some mock-ups, like something that we are creating right now? How do you then feedback, maybe work together, discuss the results, etc.?
Uh, Usually everything starting from the client. Client says, hey, I want a beautiful page to create a booking for my beautiful apartment. I don't know. I need a page. Okay, designer starting creating such mockups with the different options, like we could make it like this, like this, like this. Please tell us what you wanna have. If you wanna have a gallery of pictures, or maybe you wanna add some, I don't know, Google Map, something like this. And when we have the approximately vision on this, we can discuss it with the designers. Me as a developer, Uh, I just need to highlight technical restrictions because I need to take care also about performance. Uh, Nobody likes to wait too long until page will load. Then designer starts to create real design. They have own tools. Back in the days when I was starting, the main designer tool was Adobe Photoshop. Now the main designer tool is probably Figma and Zeppelin. These tools allows us to collaborate, uh, designers creating Figma design, and me as a developer, I just need to get all measurements from there, measurements, colors, fonts, some assets, and translate it into programming language. After this, we have review session with the designers. If we have approval, if designers saying, okay, it's great, that's how I saw it, we need to get approval from client. That's in real, that's in a perfect world. In a real world, uh, we are screaming on each other all the time.
Okay, so Sarah has written that I'm done with the mockup. I tried my best. So what are the final comments on it? By the way, Sarah, thank you for so much for joining. I hope you also like this small practice. You can always come back to maybe rearrange the items later. But Alex, in terms of the logic of the page in general, what do you think?
Um, in terms of user experience, I could say that header is a bit overloaded. We have so many elements there. Uh, in my personal opinion, I would pull search bar a bit lower into main body. That will give us more space for the action items like language, favorites, account, etc. And maybe deliver to, I'm not sure that we need to have it because deliver what? Deliver product. So it should be placed somewhere near product, near product card. What do we have? Like something, some best vitamin there. So, or maybe we should keep this deliver to, this element for later for a checkout section when user need to fill address for delivery. Regarding footer, as I said, everything looks very good. I like it. Regarding main body, it looks slightly overloaded as well. And also here we could observe we have some technical limitations because each page has like a layout which consists from blocks, like a bricks. So we have row, row, and row. We cannot put one brick like this and one brick like this. Yeah, they should follow the flow. And here we could see that we have card recommended articles how to take care of your bike, and it fell off from the flow. So from technical perspective, it would be very tough to develop this. Also, review section placed very good. On the left side, we have product card, banner minus 10%. I would put it on the first place on top because it's advantage. We want to show it for a user. Hey, minus 10%, come here. Or minus 30% New Year last chance. Yeah, it should be somewhere on top. Subscribe to newsletter. Usually users, nobody likes it. Nobody likes to subscribe for something. If we do need to have it on a page, let's put it somewhere in a footer or at the end of the page. Let's show discount instead of subscribe. Yeah, so overall, I would say it's pretty decent result as for the first time. Yeah, that's it. Sorry,
Yeah.
no offense.
No, I think the cultural feedback is also a very important part of the front-end developer's job. Sara, thank you so much for your work. I am glad to, well, hear, but actually read your comment that it was fun. And now I think we can move on to one more practical activity. If you don't mind, I will go back to the slideshow. So we
Yes.
have also a small test for you, which I believe will tell us if you like are the suited person for the front-end career. Alex, would you like to comment more?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. If you are suitable for a front end. This let's say it's a funny test to check your preferences. Please note or write down your answers here in the chat or note it for yourself, A or B. And at the end, we will calculate if you are suitable for a front-end developer work. So let's start from the first one. Your friend asks you to bake a cake for their birthday. So you would prefer invent a unicorn space cake with a rainbow layers, super fancy, super chaotic, no measurements, only vibe, or you would like to follow a strict recipe, a strict instruction, weight flour to the gram and timing like in NASA research. A or B?
While we're waiting for the responses, do you mind answering the test yourself? Which type of person are you? Unicorn blast cake or like
I
NASA?
did it once in my life, and it was a first option. It was horrible.
Well, we all need practice, with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that wasn't a food. That was something not not suitable for eating. But that was funny.
Well, for sure, at least. Again, so you can either write the responses in the chat, A or B, to make it short, or note it for yourself and then check the responses. Okay, so for the first question, we have response A here, and already there's the response for the question number two. So can you read it aloud also?
Yes, for number two, your GPS stops working in the middle of road trip. You trust your inner compass and just running through the wood and turn looking for adventures, or pull over, study a paper map, and calculate the optimal road with a compass, with the sun, to
Yeah,
be
so
sure that you will reach the end point.
Sarah says B. I would
Yeah,
also take B, probably.
yeah,
I would panic with the
yeah, sounds
GPS.
reasonable. Sounds very reasonable. Okay, so we could jump to the next slide. Your boss says, surprise me with a presentation slide. You, option one, create a clickable meme that plays never gonna give you up when hovered, or design a very strict 3D rendered data-driven infographic with 12 point font citations. Very
I,
boring, but very informative.
I really like that song. I'm glad that it's in the test.
Yeah, sorry for my singing.
Nah, it's okay. I think we can read aloud all the questions as
Yeah,
they already
okay.
see it and they will
Number
just put
four.
also the answers.
Uh, a spider is in your shower. You name it Sir Webby and draft a backstory about this tragic silk empire, or deploy a scientifically calibrated shoe throw at 42-degree angle for max efficiency to slam him.
Where is option C? I will run crying
With screams.
out of the shower.
Yeah, I would do the same, but it won't highlight your preferences.
It will clearly state that I am an arachnophobic person. But I
Uh,
actually have like Sir Webby, but it's like outside, which is good. He's outside in the corner of the window,
okay,
living his best life.
you could create a draft, a backstory for him as well.
That's for sure. And the last
Uh,
question.
yeah. Last question. Your Wi-Fi password is something dancing pickle in a space, or something very strict, random, and safely.
Okay, so Sarah has. Oh, I hate spiders too, Sarah. Yes, yes, team haters. Sarah has her answers. Thank you so much. So for the third question, it's A. For the fourth, it's B. And for the fifth, A. So she has three A's and two B's. Alex, reveal the results. What does that mean?
Oh, okay, let's do the math. So it's somewhere in between. Uh, there is really no difference. So if you choose mostly option A, you'll be interested in working with the designs and turning them into live website, which is a great part of the front end. On the container, if you choose option B, more often you will be delighted with building complex logic in JavaScript, because that's a part of frontend as well. We are working with complex mathematic formulas, with calculations. So that's why I like frontend. I can like select between what I would like to do. I could be creative and work with a design, with UI elements, or I could be very precise doing calculations. That's up to you. Uh, why do we need a front end at all? Why do I like a front end? Because in a web development, we have, as I said, three main directions. It's a design, but I'm not so creative person to do a design. The backend and data science, data research, I'm not so, I'm not so, I don't want to say boring. Let's say strict. I'm not so strict for a backend. So I would like to be somewhere in between, because I like to see results of my work. And frontend gives you this opportunity to see result of your work. And also it has a lot of another advantages. Since COVID has started, we have a flexible schedule due to remote position. It has pretty decent salary, and in my opinion, front-end development, it's like a reading knowledge. you need to know it because you live in a digital age. You need to know how to read information, how to get information. It will give you knowledge how to avoid different scammers in the internet as well. Uh, if you have your own small business, if you're, for example, making small socks for kittens, you can create your own business card website or even an online store with this knowledge. It will gives you a freedom in this digital age. That's why I like frontend, and I believe it's suitable for all type of person of people. For example, now the AI taking taking leadership in product technology, and we could talk about no-code developers. But even if we would like to generate some websites using AI, using ChatGPT or DeepL or whatever Dora AI, you need to know front-end to correct the results, to know what to ask, uh, to debug, customize outputs for these, to optimize performance, to make small changes in the application that was made by AI. If you are designers, you need to know front end because you need to know about technical restrictions that we have on the front end. You know to collaborate with this. In a previous group, I had a designer, and she was one of my best students there. And she was absolutely satisfied with designer's work, but she wanted to be familiar with the front end, with this side. If you are developers from other fields, from other directions, like data scientists, uh, front end is a perfect way for you to become a full stack engineer and be independent, create your independent startup, your independent application. Because now you know how not only how to get the data, how to store it, but how to represent it to a user. It is useful for marketers, managers, because front end taking care about search optimization, about A to B testing, about no code tools, everything based on the front end. Thank you. Probably that's it from my side.
Thank you so much. I really like the approach that all like basically front end gives you the best of the both worlds. But if you're already like interested in this sphere, how do you actually, go for it and learn it? So one of the ways you could do is actually like taking a course because there is no need to go for an actual, educational program at universities because the most important part, which is practical skills, you can get at the courses. And of course, one of the options is to use the course of Vituti Academy, where Alex is actually the next group teacher. Here on this slide, you can see all the main numbers, let's say. So it lasts 6 months, which is not too long and not too short, but it's just enough time for you to not only get acquainted with all of the necessary like technologies, methodologies, and frameworks, but also actually get to practice them. We use the project-based approach. That means that you work on your personal projects throughout the course, and the closest group starts on 27th of June, which is actually really close. So if in case you don't want to wait a long time or you would like to start as soon as possible and take, let's say, the summer break and the autumn to get all of the skills, you will still be able to finish the course and still get the time of active job market, because we all know that, for example, during the summer and winter breaks, where the holidays and the vacation season, the job market goes a little bit slower and they're not so open to hiring new people, but you will still have time to get this, let's say, wave of job offers if you start now. So that's pretty handy opportunity. The schedule is 2 times per week with the closest group in June. We have or classes on Tuesdays and Fridays, the evening time, because of course we still have to think about that a lot of the people who join the courses are still working full time and they have their own, like personal lives, and a lot is going on usually and always. So of course, to take a little bit of time of your week to be able to study is hard, and we do our best to help you with that, with like the evening times where with some certainty you can spare that hour or two. We have the program that will give you the most of the practical skills that you will actually need in your new role, and of course we have a couple of bonuses, because just being good at front end, let's face it, is not enough. First of all, you have to be always updating your skills, and one of the skills that is more recent, let's say, it's of course mastering AI and knowing what artificial intelligence is and how you can use it. And we have a separate module for that, both on how can you use it as a front-end developer, but also, which I think is very handy, on how to use AI to help and to boost your job search. So how to check your resume, how to improve your LinkedIn profile, how to task yourself for the interview. So a lot of different resources we have collected and put there as like additional materials. We have a separate lecture with the HR professional who shares her like secrets and tips on how can you use AI in the job search process. And of course, which I think is a second very handy stuff, is your one-on-one career support option, because again, looking for a job is really hard, and especially if it's your most recent switch and you haven't entered the job markets recently and you just don't know where to start and where to go. So during your last months of the study, you unlock your career support that will last 6 months. What I mean to say is that you will have 6 months to schedule a 3 sessions one-on-one with a career coach, and you can schedule them as you want. You can have one at the end of the course and then one in 1 month and one in 2 months, or you can have three of them during 1 month. So basically you schedule them as you would like, as you fit your schedule, as you think is the most comfortable way for you. And you can use those sessions to, again, improve your CV and test for the interviews. You can ask for creating PDP, personal development plan of your career in general. You can have in-depth Q&A sessions with the career expert who is a working professional recruiter. So a person whose job is to actually, hire different people, to ask for the trends of the job market, to the tips of how to be the best candidate with maybe even no tech experience at all, how to boost your portfolio, how to present yourself, etc., etc., which is all a great support to be able to land with a job. And I really think that that's the best part of the educational process that we offer. But also in like a couple of words how the educational process is actually structured, we use the flipped class methodology, which means that you have theory that you study on your own with all of the links and materials we have for you stored in the LMS, which is Learning Management System, which by the way stays with you till the end of times, till the end of internet, etc., because the access to that materials will be with you always. Then you go to the real online classes with the teacher and the group mates, where is the place to ask questions, to practice even more, to clarify any doubts you may have. And then after the practical class, you will have a separate homework. And as I have mentioned, all the homeworks are not just, do this code, write that code like 1500s of times. The assignments you will have are all based on the project that you will create during the module or during the course, that you will at the end of the course put into your portfolio. So basically, you're not only getting practice, but you're also starting creating your portfolio that you can show to the recruiters. And believe me, as a junior specialist who still doesn't have a lot of experience, to be able to show your portfolio is one of the biggest advantages you can offer in the job market. So to sum that all up, In case you will ever need a very quick assessment of everything that we have talked about, front end perspective of this career, what challenges you may face, etc., etc., we have, as one of the bonuses, a short career guide in the handypedia format that you can access by scanning this QR code. In case you can't, please no worries, because it will also be sent to you via the email alongside with the recording. So you can just always open it and yeah, check out everything that we have talked about. And the last part that I will really be glad to share with you is that one of the best motivation sources, but also sources of different tips and tricks, are the success stories from our students. We have them in the blog, link to it you have also on the slide, to just go and read the stories of people who have already switched careers, who have turned from completely non-technical environment into developers, designers, project managers, etc., and who are open with sharing those journeys and also sharing tips and tricks on how to do that. So I really recommend you reading those in case you feel demotivated, which, to be honest, I believe is kind of inevitable when you are in the job search process or in the learning process as well, because motivation may come high and low, and your task is to, get it as high as possible. And of course, to see actual tips and tricks, how can you access the best job offers, how can you successfully pass interviews, etc., etc. And that would be also a perfect moment to share some of the graduates' final projects, because that's what they present at the end of the course. Those are all projects of Alex's students. So yeah, Alex, here I give the word to you to comment on them, because
Yeah,
you will
so
be better here.
thank you. Yeah, I would like to share the results of my students from my very last group. For example, here we have a final project on the fitness application topic, because after she's a professional bodybuilder, so she decided that she needs to have a personal place to stay motivated, to track own workout, own routines. So this application connected to the database, and you have possibility to create your own workout programs, to track your progress, to share it with other. Could you scroll a bit? I don't
Of
know,
course,
click
of course, of
something.
course.
Yeah, that was done uh, with our basic technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, plus React framework, which is the number one in the world of front-end frameworks. And I'm absolutely happy with this result, because the author, the person, started as absolutely newcomer into front-end field. So she never did nothing front-end related. And after 6 months, we get such a result. Uh, Super cool, in my personal opinion.
I mean, it's like
Uh,
fully functioning
yes,
website, you know?
yes. You can create your own account and add some exercises to your favorite, and then build the full workout program based on these exercises.
That's, I have no words,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah. And number two, from another student, she decided to store somewhere receipts of her grandmother from the childhood. So she gathered all favorite receipts into this website. You could see like a small text, so you could filter everything by these tags. It could be soup, or it could be main dish. You could get detailed description. What do you need? You could save it as your favorite as well. You could create account as well. I'm proud of this work as well. Author of this work, she's a professional web designer. And now I could say she is a professional front-end developer as well.
So she basically can cover, all of the process, yeah, from creating a design that will be
Yes.
aesthetically pleasing to actually implementing it to a real website.
Yeah, for example, if she will decide to start own startup, she won't have to pay for a design or for a development. She is absolutely independent.
That's great.
That's why I'm saying that front end is like very very important knowledge in this digital age.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing these examples. I still have my favorite. We haven't shown it, but one of Alex's students created like a database for Korean drama TV shows, and I am a fan. So when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my God, that's the websites we need." So yeah, those are great examples. Thank you so much for sharing them. I hope you also like them. And now I think finally, yeah, we are moving to the Q&A session, which I believe is one of the most important parts of the event because you are actually able to ask anything that interests you or maybe like bothers you a bit about starting your career in front end from educational part, so what should you learn first, how much time does it really take, is 6 months enough, etc., to actually starting your career, to maybe how you, I don't know, like find your first job, what are the fields that you can apply to as a front ender, so write all those questions in the chat, but I'm actually going to read the question that we got from the registration form because that was also a possibility. So while we are waiting for the responses in the live chat, I will also read you the questions that we have already. So Alex, the first one, how do I stay motivated and consistently learn coding?
That's absolutely brilliant question because I'm asking it myself every day. When I was starting my career, that wasn't my main field of study because I was graduated from university as a land management specialist, and then I decided to switch into front end, and that was absolutely painful for me. And then I realized that if you are not interested in something, your brain will reject all the knowledges. So I was trying to find something interesting, some points that I could hook up during this way. So, uh, for example, during the HTML and CSS study, I used resources with gamification. When you are playing games, you are pulling blocks, and meantime you are reading about HTML tags, about styling, because that was interesting for me. Uh, so that's point number one. Try to make it interesting for you. You could create a plan. Okay, I want to create such application. I don't know, for a Pokemon, for the, I don't know, cryptocurrency stocks, but I don't know how to do it. Okay, what do I need for this? Okay, I need this, and you are moving step by step, improving your skills. That works for me. I don't know. Point number two probably is to be engaged into something like a course. For example, when you have a homework, you have a deadline, and you have other persons to care about your progress, like a teacher. Okay, I'm bothering you every day. Hey, where is your homework? I will punish you if you don't do it. That could help you stay motivated as well. And also, we have like a competition part. When there are other students, they doing the same, and you can observe that they achieving something, they achieving some milestones. Hey, I want to do it as well. I am better. Let's come make a competition. Let's compare what I'm doing. It it would be better than your result. Transform it into some kind of game because nobody likes study. Nobody likes boring stuff.
Thank you so much. From the same person, also a question. How do I get the basics of coding even though I have taken C++, Python, and other languages? So basics of the front end. Will it be easier for them if they have that base
Uh,
in other
I could
languages?
say yes, because the most complicated point for a newcomer is to realize that browser, that computer doesn't think like a human. And me as a developer, I need to translate something from human language into programming language, into computer language. Very strict, very boring, very straightforward language. And if you have experience with another programming languages, you have this understanding already. So you just need to learn like a new syntaxes that you need to put a comma there, a semicolon there. That's how you could create a variable. This variable has such type. It's much easier than, for example, if you would come from, I don't know, from another field of study, if you are an artist. But it's doable for both.
Thank you. And the last question from the same person. How do I be a practical coder? Especially, for example, if the person is still looking for a job, how to not to lose the practice of the coding?
There are a lot of different competitions, resources with competitions like Code Ninja, etc., etc. When you have tasks and you are competing with another users solving these tasks. Also, my main recommendation for students after graduation is to start search for a job and to start a freelance activity on a freelance resources like Upwork, Fiverr, etc. When you could get where you could get the tasks for like, I don't know, $5, $10, but you will get a practice and you will get some rating, you will have some income, and you will be familiar with the process. So everything depends on your motivation and you're willing to do something. Also, there are a lot of technical boot camps from a big companies. You could join there, and obviously you need to have like a basic knowledge of technology to join as the intern there.
Thank you so much. Those are the questions from the registration form. And now I go to the live chat. Thank you so much, Sarah, mainly for the questions. So I will tackle them as they go. First of all, does the program include CSS frameworks and libraries like Bootstrap? I'm so sorry,
Bootstrap.
Bootstrap and SAS, SASS. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering the names.
SCSS.
Yes.
Yes. We do have it in our course. We do not have in a separate lesson for a Bootstrap because if we are talking about CSS frameworks, we have a lot. We have Bootstrap, we have CSS Foundation, Tailwind. But during the development, during preparation for the practice projects, we are talking about tools that we could use, and we are talking about Bootstrap as well because it could save a lot of time, and I'm always willing to save time for my students. If they could use something to save time, please go ahead. Also regarding SCSS, yeah, it's a required part of our project, of our program. We will use it in almost at each module except HTML.
Thank you. Continuing with the library question, will other libraries and frameworks of JavaScript like 3GS and AnimeJS will be included in the curriculum as well?
In Overall, we don't have 3GS in the general program, but we have a very flexible approach on this. For example, with last group, they asked me to show how do 3GS works. So we dedicated 2 lessons for this. So we had it there. Also, they have asked me to show the Firebase, how to store data. Firebase, it's a Google database. We dedicated one lesson for this as well, because I'm interested to keep your interest on this course. So uh, I'm trying to make you fun. So if you will ask me to show something that even we do not have in the scope of this course, if I'm thinking, if I know that it could be useful for us, for developers, I'm always willing to talk about it, to prepare a separate lesson for this. I'm always willing to do this.
Yeah, that's one of the strong points, I think, of the education is the flexibility. So in case you need extra information, teachers are always open to that question and ready to help as much as they can. So just don't be shy and just ask questions, literally in the message, in or via email, the way that works for you. The next question. Will we also build our own online portfolio as well? I'm sure the portfolio will include the projects done through the program.
Overall, through the program, at the end of each module, we have a practice task. It's a real full application of full page that you will use for your portfolio. And at the end of the course, we have more freedom. So if you would like to create your own personal portfolio website to represent what you did before, I'm always willing to help as well. Because at the end, we have some topics, we have prepared list of some topics, but usually students willing to select something else what could be useful or interesting for them. For example, that fitness application or website for cooking with receipts, they weren't in that initial list. But students decided that they need it, so why not? We could create, I don't know, something about rocket science, something legal, nothing about.
Illegal stuff. Yeah, we got it.
Yes.
And the last question for now is responsive web design, digital animation, and 3D rendering be taught in the program?
We are talking about responsive web design a lot. That would be a main requirement for your project. Everything should look fine on a different platforms. What was the second?
Digital animation.
Yes. We will talk about animations, like default animations in CSS, then animation in JavaScript, different transitions for UI elements. Probably we could talk about 3GS, and 3GS partially uh, it's a topic about 3D animation, but web design, web development doesn't relate it very much with the 3D like in the common sense, because 3D requires a lot of resources of your machine. But we are trying to chase a good performance on the first place. So yeah, we could go with like general knowledge about it, but the main goal is to get knowledge about how to create user interface, web interface, not like 3D model of Falcon 9.
Okay, thank you so much for the responses and thank you so much for the questions. I don't think we'll get. That's all the question that I have. Thank you so much. Thank you for the questions. I hope we got all the answers. And now we're going to move to the final bonus that we are about to share with you. It's, of course, a huge thank you for joining today's event and sparing this hour and a half almost of the evening to be with us. I really hope that the event was helpful and interesting for you. And as a way to say thank you, and also as a way to make your education, in case you choose Between Academy and in case you choose front end as a future career, to be more accessible in general, we offer you a discount on the price of the front end course, which is, as you can see, minus 20%, to use it All you have to do is to join the free consultation. The link will be in the email that I'll send you after the event, and just mention the discount. Say that you were a participant of the webinar and there is a discount for all of you. So that will be the part of initiation of the discount price. Everything in detail will be taught by our educational advisors. And then the flow is pretty easy. You register in the LMS, which will contain all of the instructions and later theoretical materials and part of the homework and the lesson descriptions, everything like that. You will also pay the course. Again, our educational advisors will help you with all the process. And basically, that's it. And you get started with studying at Betut Academy. I want to thank you once more for spending this evening with us. I hope you got all the questions answered and you are able to tell if front-end developer development is a sphere for you, if this is the career you would like to pursue. And whatever the answer is, if you can be more confident with it, I think we've done our job. Alex, thank you so much for your time and answering all of the questions and presenting the topics.
Thank you. Glad to be
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I wish you all a great evening and hope to see you as a part of the Truth Academy. So, yeah, thank you so much and bye bye.